All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's presentation. We are here on a Thursday. It's the 5th of the month, and I'm excited to be sharing with you this awesome opportunity. As you see here, the opportunity of a lifetime has arrived. Before we get into the content of tonight's meeting, please turn your phones off, any distractions for the next hour or so. We want to just have a concentrated time of effort and focus on something that is such a hot topic and very important for all of us, is what you're going to learn about tonight. And those of us who are already in the platform and in the program know the benefits of water and why we're excited about sharing what this is about and how it can really make you want to drink the levels that you might not be drinking. All right, so the video that I just played there, the guy was talking about different things, people drinking sugary drinks and things of that nature. And we're going to talk about a bit of that today, and why having good quality water is 100% essential for optimal health. So my friends, my name is Leroy. I'm excited to be hosting this presentation tonight. These two meetings I do Monday and Thursday are really something I look forward to, because I love sharing the benefits of this opportunity. As you see here, it says an opportunity of a lifetime has arrived. I believe the product of a lifetime has arrived. We always have lots of opportunities we do every day in our day-to-day life. And this, my friends, is something that, whether we like it or not, we need to be drinking a decent level of water and not just drinking it for the sake of it. So I want to just really dive into the content of what's happening, especially in the Western world, right, where I live. And the Western society or Western world kind of foods and diets, this is playing a major havoc on our health, right? A modern lifestyle, whether we have a burger here, there, and now and then, that probably won't do damage, but having that as a regular staple in your lives. And unfortunately, a lot of the children after school, that is their regular thing, right? It's everywhere, right? It's very difficult to get away from these big food fast chains and stuff. And they're convenient, but they do pay a price. We do pay a price of having that as our lifestyle. Even the foods that we get from the supermarket, and we hope we're spending good money on this stuff. And whichever way we do it, whether it's fast or whether it's we try and get organic, and if we can't get organic, we try and get it from the local sources. But a lot of times, again, they're sprayed to death. There's no richness in the soil anymore. And so as a result of that, the things that we used to just have as a regular in our staple is no longer there. All right. So I don't need to really labor on that. But, I come from an IT background, and where, a lot of this stuff, a lot of foods that we have, or stuff that goes in us, and we always had an acronym: garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so if you're even junk food, they call it junk food for a reason. Junk food in, junk food out, right? But it does leave, what it leaves behind is a problem. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in great depth here, because this gentleman, not me, not somebody I knew, somebody almost 100 years ago, Nobel Prize winner, and his thesis was on the primary cause and prevention of cancer. I don't know what the numbers were like back in 1931, but the numbers in 2026 are rampant. I don't know if you guys have got people that you personally know. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't know somebody or know of a relative of some sort who unfortunately may have had cancer, passed away from cancer. We've heard, I don't know if Simone is going to be on today. She's out in Brazil at the moment, and her own sister, was somebody who had cancer. And the big thing here, guys, is what his thesis was about. There's two things: the acidity of the blood, and lack of oxygen. Okay, so as it says here in his work, The Metabolism of Tumors, Otto Heinrich Warburg demonstrated that all forms of cancer develop due to these two basic conditions. So cancerous tissues are acidic tissues, healthy ones are alkaline tissues. So guys, we want to get to the root of the problem here. We're not here to talk about alkaline water and things that may be great from a picking something off the shelf, it's got the right pH level and all this kind of stuff. No, we're looking at getting to the root of the issue, getting to our cells. And if your cells are acidic, then we have a problem, my friend. We have a problem. So let's talk about that. You know, this is a great picture of health. I love when I see this slide. You know, ideally, what should be the different colors of the rainbow on your plate when you're eating. For the most part, that doesn't happen, not for me anyway. And so there's things that I obviously have to supplement and add to my diet so that I'm getting some of these nutrients that I'm not necessarily getting. But what happens when you don't feed your body these essentials that your body needs? We end up in a state with what we call free radicals, okay? And again, free radicals, for those who don't know, is an isolated, oxygen atom. If you have too many of that running rampant, it's a problem, right? It can be extremely harmful to your body, and you do not want that. You do not want that any which way. The slide on the right hand side is what happens with the effect of too much of that going on. Now, the mere fact is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we do not know what's necessarily going on underneath the hood, underneath our skin, until it comes to the surface. When it comes to the surface, that is when it's obviously you can visually see it. But prevention is better than cure, my friend. So, that old slogan growing up was one apple a day keeps the doctor away. You need to eat a lot more apples nowadays. And even the apples you have, by the time, you turn your back, it's gone off. It's like, wait, I only just bought this the other day. What the heck is going on, right? Because things have been speeded up, all right? Things have been speeded up. Our society is speeded up, microwave society. It all has an effect. The convenience on one hand, but detriment on the other hand. And it's just finding that balance where we can, still live our lives and do the things that we want to be doing, but sometimes we just need to take time out, and it may take a bit longer to cook the food, to heat up the food, than it is to just go and get something quick and things of that nature. So it's all about balance here. I'm not here to preach, but this is what happens, my friends, when you leave things undetected, when you do not know what is going on, the dangers of that. When it starts to come on the surface, you end up in a situation like this young lady, okay? Now, if this is your friend and you haven't seen them in a while, and they now look like the picture on the right, you'll be like, and if you're a good friend, you'll be like, girl, what's going on, because unfortunately a lot of people in the cosmetic industry are, don't want to get sidetracked here. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Why? Because people want to stay younger. They want us to look younger. And I'm telling you, what you're going to learn from tonight, and we've got people's testimonials just by doing what I'm going to share with you. They've not had to spend fortunes to still look their age, my friends. Yeah. So we don't want the premature aging. We want what we see on the left. Okay. And immunity. We want healing of this. We want a picture of health, you may say. All right, if you had to say a word. So this free radicals I'm talking about, okay, how can we prevent it? And it's funny enough, talk about apples, because apples was one thing I learned many years ago to help reduce free radicals in the body. So acidity and free radicals, how are we going to reduce it? Great question. We need to understand the chemical breakdown and reaction when magnetized water, okay? So this is the game changer, my friend, okay? I'm somebody who, as I'm telling you this stuff, I'm the guy who never drank more than maybe a liter and a bit of water. It was a struggle to do that. And now it's a different ball game because of magnetized water, and not just any magnetized water. It's what this breakdown you're going to hear about in a minute. So the chemical reaction of water when it's super magnetized is known as water hydrolysis. Okay. So H2O, as we know, is water. This dissociates into OH minus and H plus. Okay, so you've got the hydrolysin ions and you've got the hydrogen ions. When you look at this breakdown here, and you see at the bottom of the slide here, this component, this is such an important component of minerals that we are not getting in our day-to-day for the most part. And I say for the most part because the things that we many years ago may have had in the soil where things were grown is no longer there. It's eroded, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the presentation. So minerals found in the water, and it reacts to the hydrolysin ions here. You get this breakdown, guys. So with two things I really want to make clear here. Alkaline in your body is one thing. How are we going to do that? We need to get to the cellular level where everything is really taking place. When you go and get a blood test done, they look at your blood, all right? And of course, they don't want to see your blood clumping together. That's never a good sign. So if you have something that, we're going to share with you that can help the body, hydrate the body, give it oxygen, give it life, you're going to have a better chance. Your cells are going to be thankful if they can talk to you, which they are in one way or the other. They're going to talk to you, that give you thanks for hydrating them, giving them oxygen. So minerals, when consumed, with this water, magnetized body, it's going to reduce the body's acidity. So you see here, CHO2 and magnesium, OH2. This is the game changer in what we're doing. So there's a stone that you're going to learn about, which has these minerals in it, which is part of what this company has found and identified, that's helping people from all different walks of life. Okay, as I mentioned here, H2O dissociates into OH minus and H plus. So what we wanted to penetrate on these free radicals is what I've been talking about. Okay, how we're going to do that is by this process. When your water and the hydrogen ions react with the excess free radicals in your body, forming the water. So H2O free radical was neutralized. So we're getting this neutralizing effect by the water that we're drinking, not the regular water that you might be having. Because I think if I was to do a survey right now, and for those of you who aren't taking the Timol product, you'll probably say, I've been drinking water, and I drink my recommended amount for my size. They say if you're 50 kg, you should be drinking at least 2 liters of water, and if you're more than that, you should be drinking more than that, as we heard from the doctor on that video. Okay, so you could be drinking the water, right, and it's not hydrating your cells in any shape or manner, but you're doing the recommended amount. You can tick the box to say I've drunk this amount, but there's no change in your day-to-day. You're not feeling the effects of you drinking that amount of water. Now, for me, like I said, I wasn't the one that's could even preach about anything about drinking water, because I wasn't drinking nowhere near the amount I should have been drinking. But our bodies, as we probably all know this, it's easy to know stuff and just oh yeah, 70%, our bodies are made up 70%, so what? Okay, well, this is so what. The quality of the water we drink is the main thing that I want to drive home tonight, my friends. Okay, drinking your level of water is one challenge that most people have. A lot of people don't like the taste of the water. When they drink, the water that you're going to hear about with magnetized water, it's like they can't stop drinking. And I've seen it in front of my eyes. I'm the living testimonial proof of that myself. Struggle to drink more than over a liter, but I'm now drinking the levels that I should be, and I can feel the difference. Absolutely feel the difference. So water determines disease. Water determines health. Appropriate, adequate water restores health. Ionized water hydrates, alkalizes, antioxidizes, and detoxifies. Water can be used as medicine. Dr. Laia Ribeiro. Okay, so you're not hearing it from me. I'm no expert. Okay, on water, as you alluded to. My background is IT, as I said at the beginning. But one thing I know, my friends, is I needed to drink more water. It was as simple as that, and it was a struggle. And now that I realize, hey, it's not just the fact that I'm just drinking the amount, it's what type of water am I putting in my body. The book that I talk about every time I get on here, Your Body's Many Cries for Water, was again a really eye-opener for me many years ago, by this doctor who was treating his patients with water. The dehydration is a massive issue. Okay, I was at an event on Saturday, and one of the ladies who came up to my stand, she said, oh, she only drinks water when she's thirsty, and that's your body crying. Like when you see it visibly, and sometimes you see it on people's lips, their lips are white, and I'm like, yo, your body is draining every resource to get water. You know, so people get headaches. Guess what? Because your body's trying to grab the water from your body. It needs water. I just showed you we're over 70% water, right? So if you're not feeding it that, and you're feeding it with Sprite, and you're feeding it with coffee, and you're feeding it with everything else, but because maybe the taste, my friends, you're going to love this. Because for me, I'm the other spectrum. I can't stop drinking this water. Sometimes I have to check the time to say, yo, I need to stop drinking, otherwise I'm going to be up all night. So this is the difference. Water that hydrates against water that doesn't. We don't want water that tickles us. Imagine you're spending good money, I'm sure, whether you bought a filter into your home or you go and get bottled water or whatever, so that you can get this water in and you go for that brand. And that's me. I've tested loads of different brands and I found a brand I like, and I go there and I get that water. Imagine I'm doing all of that and I'm just the middleman. I'm just spending money and I'm just like, what's the point? It's not even hydrating the cells. It's not doing what it should be doing. And this is a massive issue we have out here. So with that said, my friends, if you had a water, what's it called? Fish tank that looked like the one on the right, and somebody came to your house and you saw the fish tank, they'll be like, wow, you're not taking care of these fish. What's going on here? I said, oh yeah, the oxygen pump, you know, it was too much money. So I thought, you know what, just leave it. You know, I'll just buy the fish, put it in there, and let it get on with it, right? We wouldn't do that with our own bodies intentionally, but my friends, a lot of us are doing this without taking proper care. Yeah, we are ending up with the image on the right as opposed to the healthy image. You know, water should be moving. It should be, you know, if you had a water that you had, you know, in the backyard, for example, and you left it out there, and a month later, the thing's going to be stinking, guys. Yeah, the water needs to be moving. We want this movement of water, you know, life. It's got life in it. Okay, we are life. We are, you know, we need water. All right, so imagine you get that water bottle, whatever you might be buying it from. We don't know how long it's been sitting there on the shelf before it even gets to the supermarket for you to buy it and start to taste it and drink it. And so I think I've labored the point that we need water that has life and movement. How are we going to get that? Are we going to be every day we want to drive to the nearest fall and fill up our bottle? No, it's impractical. Okay, so I'm going to show you something that's going to make your life so much easier. Okay, and that's what we're here about, just to share some information that can help you understand what's really going on here. For me, my friends, this slide really drove it home. When I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness. So this is why people are not being hydrated when they are drinking their water. So let me just walk you through this. On the left, you can see a cell. This is an entry point where it's going to receive. We want it to receive the nutrients, hydrogen, oxygen. We want all of these things, you know. But this is the challenge we're having, right? When water without magnetic treatment, this is what you're going to experience. This issue here. I mentioned about the clusters, right? So you've got hard water clustered together, almost just like I mentioned. If your blood cells are all clumped together, you know you've got a health challenge, right? If your cells are not getting proper hydration. So this is what's happening. You know, we've got that bottleneck situation going on, right? Just like on my laptop today, right? My laptop was shutting down. I couldn't do anything with it, right? It was like, shut me down. I need to be restarted. It can't perform. It can't work. Can't even bring up a PowerPoint if I didn't turn it off and reboot it. So it's no difference here, my friends. Give your body a fighting chance to do what it's intended to do. You know, our body's the miracle. We just need to feed it the right things. So hard water full of clusters, it prevents the penetration of molecules into the pores of the membrane. Okay, we're going insane in our membranes. This promotes only a partial hydration of the cell. As you saw, only partially hydrated. Now, check this out. When it's magnetized, what happens now? Because of what I'm going to show you shortly is that magnetic effect, yeah? Breaking down this infrared magnet, which is breaking down the molecules, it's going to make the water much lighter, better absorbing. You know, this is the things I was hearing about before I even tried the product myself. You know, people were like, oh my goodness, this water is so fresh and light and all the things that I was like, okay, I get it. I need to get my hands on it, right? And so I did. And it's been a game changer ever since. It's only been a month, guys, and it's been a game changer. So the magnetization breaks up the clusters, decreasing water hardness, promoting hydration and total nutrition of the cells. Okay, so hopefully that drove that point home. Now I'm going to play this video. I'm going to just maybe move it on a little bit and just play this for a few minutes to really kind of solidify exactly what I've shared so far. So give me a few minutes and then I'll be back.
Water has long been the object of scholars' attention. After all, most of the world is formed by water. Also, 70% of our body is water. That is why this substance that is so common to all of us is also so intriguing. And seeking answers about the role of water in people's health is a mad race. The fact is that water is a source of nourishment that contains minerals and is thus essential for sustaining life. We need large doses of water daily so that our body can maintain its balance. Hippocrates said long ago that our food is our medicine. Based on this premise, it is paramount that the water we drink each day is of good quality. Where populations do not have access to clean drinking water, the result is a scenario of death caused by disease and dehydration. Thus, standard drinking water that is free from impurities, bacteria, parasites, and heavy metals is not only necessary, but an essential ingredient for maintaining human health. So far, so good, and everyone seems to be in agreement. But in the face of something so important to life everywhere in the world, there are fields of activity that aim to enhance water to transform it into a food capable of improving everyone's life. There are many studies and research projects taking place around the world to achieve this goal. As in every movement of this nature, many are scientifically correct, but others have become vehicles for marketing strategies. That is, pure marketing to drive commercial strategies. This is what happened with so-called alkaline water, which came to be hailed by some as the water of life. But what lies behind that claim? What is the scientific basis for such a powerful concept? The answer is nothing. There is no basis whatsoever. Everything that has been studied in this sense points to the same conclusion. Alkaline water is useless in disease prevention and, in certain cases, depending on the water's pH, can even be harmful and contribute to alkalosis. In 2019, Veja Saúde, the website of publisher Abril, published the article originally produced for Questão de Ciência magazine, written by Dr. Alicia Kowalczewski, a doctor, teacher, and researcher on this subject at the Institute of Chemistry at USP. The title itself is categorical and conclusive. Alkaline water does not cure anything and cannot give you back your youth. Another publication that carries a similar title is in the website of the Osvaldo Cruz Diabetes and Obesity Center. The article is even more compelling and draws the public's attention. Warning, alkaline water does not improve your health. So we come to a very interesting point which deserves to be highlighted and demystified. What is blood alkalinity and what is water alkalinity exactly? This is very confusing to many people. Very alkaline water can be a problem, as experts say, because before water gets the bloodstream, it passes through the stomach and intestine. These are acidic environments, and they should stay that way. Drinking large amounts of alkaline water for long periods can interfere with this condition, just as very acidic water is considered inappropriate for consumption. The Brazilian Ministry of Health has established that the pH of water for human consumption must be in the range pH 6 to pH 9.5. So any water that has the minimum requirements for consumption and is in this range does not change anything in the human body, nor does it affect human health. Hydration will happen in the same way and play the proper role in our body. So forget it. It has been proven again and again that alkaline water is just a gimmick. It is a somewhat dangerous pitch without any kind of support. What we need to keep in mind is the oxygenation and pH of the blood. It is these characteristics of blood, and not exactly of water, that have a bearing on the functions and balance of the human body. Hundreds of diseases, including cancer, are related to blood acidosis. Blood is slightly basic, with a normal pH between 7.35 and 7.45. And even if you have at times a diet rich in acids, the body itself has mechanisms to balance and normalize the pH. This only fails to happen if a person has a serious health condition. Therefore, what is needed is a routine that nourishes our body with what will preserve its normal characteristics and contribute to maintaining its balance. And this is where blood pH comes in, and it plays a fundamental role in this. As we said at the outset, many studies into water were scientifically sound and showed that water can be a powerful ally in the search for this balance within the body. It was in this context the magnetic treatment of water emerged. In the same way that water must be treated in order to make it suitable for human consumption, it should also be subjected to a magnetic field before being used as drinking water. But where does this need come from? Let's take things gradually. First, the water that most people drink has lost its original structural characteristics from when it was alive in nature. In springs, streams, and rivers, water is constantly moving. This favors its oxygenation, in addition to its structure being composed of small molecules, which increases its hydration power in the body. When water is stored or kept in containers, its surface tension is altered. Thus it becomes much heavier, with the formation of large molecule clusters, which are completely disorganized and lose oxygen. This molecular change compromises the penetration of water into cells that form organ tissues. But the original characteristics of water, so necessary for a good cellular hydration, can be restored. This is where magnetic treatment comes in. When water is subjected to a magnetic field, an event called hydrolysis occurs, which means breaking up of water. That is, the movement caused by the molecules causes a rupture of the clusters and promotes rearrangement into much smaller structures. Thus, these H2O molecules penetrate the cells much more easily, promoting better cellular hydration and cleaning. The second point, observed in the various studies carried out with magnetized water, is that it contributes to a reduction of excess of free radicals. How does this happen? When water undergoes magnetic treatment, there is an ionic dissociation, that is, the H2O water molecule formed by two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom breaks up, releasing hydroxyl ions and hydrogen ions. Excess free radicals that are present in the body are negative ions, and they combine with hydrogen ions, forming new H2O molecules, thus removing them from the body. This is a very simple chemical equation that has been observed by several researchers. The third point is about the contribution to the maintenance of blood alkalinity, helping the mechanisms of our body. In hydrolysis, as we have seen, there are negative hydroxyl ions left over. This hydroxyl reacts with magnesium and calcium ions present in vital environments of our body, forming alkaline hydroxyls, in this case magnesium and calcium hydroxyls. These reactions help in the maintenance of blood pH and oxygen content. It is for all these reasons that water treated magnetically helps in the maintenance of good health.
So here we go, my friends. Whoever's invited you on, if you wanted to watch the full video of that, they can send you information on that. But this is the gentleman 22 years ago created this product that you're learning about. This gentleman here, Carlos Henrique, very thankful for what he's brought to the market. In fact, right now, Simone is out in Brazil meeting with the company, having meetings with the owner. So, you know, that's one great thing I love about this. This is a story that he created. He created this company with that in mind, knowing the dangers of consuming poor quality water over long periods. Mr. Carlos Henrique founded Timol in 2004 with that mission in mind. So almost 22 years ago, they're going to be celebrating. So that I absolutely love that. This company, this product is not on trial. We're not testing it out, hoping that you know, people are going to benefit from it. People have been benefiting from it in Brazil for, you know, over 18 years before it started to make its way outside of the country. And now we're fortunate to be learning about this in different parts of the world. So we've got people all over now being able to share the amazing benefits of being, you know, on this product and how it's helping their body. So health and quality of life for people through high quality water that truly hydrates. Though that is really the ticker there in all of this, water that truly hydrates, right? So just have a look here. Company, as I mentioned, over 20 years in the market. We've got certification of integrity that I'm going to share with you in a minute. Headquarters in Brazil. And again, real company, real products, real testimonials. You know, it's a real lifeblood here. We heard from people in the corporate company a couple of weeks ago, his own daughter and son-in-law involved in the business. We had a meeting with him the other day. I mean, this is real, my friends. I'm absolutely loving what this company is doing. And all the evidence, if you want to do your own publications, in fact, we need to amend that. It's no longer 42 publications, it's 52 on Google Scholar. So you want to do your own due diligence, do your own research. I you know, open the floor for you to do that. I strongly recommend you do your own research, come to your own conclusions. And the truth's in the, you know, the testing of the product. What's that statement? Proof's in the pudding. Well, you try this product, you'll see the benefits for yourself. It's as simple as that. I can talk to, I'm blue in the face, and I don't intend to do that, but not a good sight for either of us. But you will see for yourself, once you try the product, you will have your own testimony of being on it. Okay, so again, 3 people say to me, oh, what would they notice after taking this, or will this do that for that? Listen, we're not here being doctors. We ain't, you know, far from it, right? All I know is give the body what it needs. The body is the healer, right? So our bodies are dehydrated for the most part. Give it hydration, give it the minerals, give it this product, and let it be the testimony. So you're going to hear from some people tonight, guys, because I'm telling you, every week is one of my greatest parts, just learning how this product is just spreading over the world. Testimonials from all over the planet. There's one thing, my friends, wherever you're from the UK, whether you're from Canada, whether you're from China, we're all the same. We're all made up of the same thing, the very same thing, the same blood running to every one of our veins. But now our cells, regardless of who you are, needs the same ingredients. We all need that same basic premise, and which is why everybody is benefiting from this one shape or another. This is what they talking about, the recognition here, and I'm just going to quickly read this because I think it's really important not to just pass this slide. This slide is you know, it tells you third-party documentation is better than conversation for sure. So the Parliamentary Front in Defence of Integrative Health Practices of the National Congress, in its duties of recognising suitable therapeutic systems and diagnosis acting within the scope of legalisation and dissemination thereof in favour of those that have a scientific basis, adopted by the international health community, mainly by World Health Organization, officially declares the recognition of the suitability of the Brazilian company Timol Ltda as the only one complying with the standards and requirements of this institution for adapting a system or method of magnetic water treatment or correction as a system or method of health protection and recovery with scientifically proven efficiency as a resource included in the framework of integrative health practices that make up the collection of methods and systems registered in the parliamentary institution. Now, my friends, this was 10 years after the company had been formed. And so it recognized a decade of work, a body of work, that this product is doing what it's intended to do. So that was, for me, absolutely paramount. Okay, like I mentioned, do your own research. There's publications where you can go online, check it out, research, studies. It's all there. Nobody's hiding this stuff. It's out in the open. Okay. Again, the only company that's delivering all this content. Go on Google Scholar and do your own due diligence. So, ladies and gentlemen, the start of the show is what's right in front of you. Okay, so we talked about the effects, the benefits. We talked about magnetized water. We talked about mineralized water, and you have it right in front of you. This product here, the Mega, is two things: magnetizer and mineralizer. I call it M&M, right? You got the two of them together. They act like Batman and Robin for me, like, you know, the dynamic duo, my friends. Whichever context you want to put on it, this is what we have in front of us. So you've got the psilocybin. It's the blue magnet infrared that sits alongside your top H plus, which is the minerals. This is the dolomite stone that's in your possession. Again, do your own research and find out how powerful this stuff is, man. So effects of magnetized water: alkalization of the blood, um, body blood. I was trying to say it at the same time. Increase in bone mineral mass, increase in blood oxygenation, increase in minerals in the water. Okay. Now, we have this booklet which goes into osteoporosis. And we know as people age, the bone density is an issue. All right. This, guys, is just such an easy way for you to drink the level of water one should be drinking. Like I said, I was struggling to drink enough, and two, to get what we need into our cells. I mean, it's absolutely paramount. I don't think anybody on the planet should be without this product, without a question of a doubt. So whether you're on brilliant water, filtered water, tap, whatever it is, this is essential. So again, we're not here to talk about curing diseases, but rather to magnetize water. Let's get that straight. Magnetized water will be an adjunct in health treatment and will improve your quality of life by reducing acidity and free radicals in the body. Okay, there you have it, right in front of you. So like I said, this is the mega one. This is the big one. It will treat up to 20 liters. So for a household, everybody can get a good amount of their water, even your neighbors. And the smaller mini one will treat, you'll see more so in the water bottle, portable water bottle you take around with you. That will treat up to 3 liters of water. So I have a water bottle that holds about 2 liters. I typically drink 1.5 or maybe 2 of those a day, just depending on what's going on, if I need to really hydrate my body. And it's not a problem. It's not a problem whatsoever. It was a problem before. Now it's a walk in the park, right? And, you've got all of these other variants on how you can have it and utilize it and benefit from the product. Okay. As I mentioned, for those of you doing your own research, there's a lot of information out there. You can do and see some testimonials with some amazing results on the product for people who've been trying the product. A lot of them will be in Portuguese because the company, as I mentioned, has been in Brazil for at least 18 years before it even came outside of Brazil. But we are building up a library of people who've got testimonials that they can share on the presentation tonight. So guys, this is Thursday. I call it Testimonial Thursdays. I do want to hear from people who've got something they want to share or been on the product. We heard on Monday again, my friend who I met up with literally, and he's actually put in an order for himself. But I met up with him on the last week Wednesday, just over a week ago, and his mum was flying to Ghana, and he really wanted to get the product. I gave him, met up with him, gave him the product, and then a few days later, for those of you who were on the call, you heard himself share that how his mum just been on the product for a few days. The testimonials that came from that. This is why I do it. This is why I get so excited, because I just don't know what what somebody's going to come back and tell me. So guys, if you've got a testimony you want to share, raise your hand, and we'll just go through a couple of them. I do want to share some on the PowerPoint that are pretty amazing in itself. Got Glenn. Glenn, do you want to come on down? If you want a place to put your camera on, it'd be great. But come on down,
Right.
unmic yourself.
Thank you.
You're here. Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Leroy, for the amazing presentation.
Yes,
This water has changed my life. I've been drinking this water almost 2 months. Um, thanks to my sponsor Augusta and Natalia. Right. I used to eat junk food in December, a lot of food at Christmas time, fast food, junk foods, and I developed some stomach pain in January. When I started drinking this water, within 3 days, the pain was gone until now. My vision has improved a lot because I wear glasses. And this water is make you happy all day because you feel better. You don't feel thirsty anymore when you start drinking this water. I spray on my face. I use it for cooking. The food is amazing, and you can go the extra mile because you feel strong on your feet. So I encourage everyone to get hold of this water, give it to your family. Mind blowing. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, brilliant. That's amazing. Again, so many different testimonials here, and Glenn's had quite a few in that short period of time of using it. Anybody else that wants to come on and share anything regarding the water? We never know who we have on these calls, so anybody wants to share before I share my own testimony of what it's done for me in such a short period of time. I don't see anybody yet. So let me just say, when I got involved in this, like I mentioned, I was sharing this with people because I was blown away. First of all, week on week, I was watching these Zooms back in January, and I was like, man, if this is half as true as what I'm hearing, this is going to be amazing. Anyway, I never got the product, but I did tell a friend of mine in the States, and she was struggling with sciatica pain. And again, if she's on, it'd be great to hear from her how she's got on now. But within a couple of days of being able to get the product to her, like I said, I wasn't even involved, so it wasn't even a money thing for me. It was like, if this can help you, you need to get the product ASAP. She managed to get it thanks to Natalia, and within a couple of days, she reached out to me saying like, "Wow, this water is bad." She was saying it's bad, obviously, which means good, right? So I was like, "That's fantastic. That is really. I'm glad, you're telling me that, because she was literally struggling to, to get up the stairs." So that was amazing. And then I get the product now. I was in the UK last month. I get the product, and within the day of getting it, I had to order a water bottle because I didn't have anything to take it with. And so I noticed, I was talking to a friend, actually, Andrea, on the call, and I said to her, because my biggest thing was I've got this pain in my hip, and this pain is really, it's really annoying, all right? And I don't know what exactly is causing it. It's just every now and then it will like grip me, and the pain will just like literally hold me to the point where I have to hold my hip so to almost alleviate the pain, get a bit of relief. Anyway, this has been going on for years, right? I didn't have any real health problems, pain or anything until I hit my 50s. And then after that, it was waiting for me. It was like, now you hit 50, you're going to watch what's going to happen. So I got all this pain, man. And then I went to the physio. I was going to physio, going chiro. Was going chiropractor mainly because, alignment and all this kind of stuff. I'm thinking it's got to be something to do with that physio. And I wasn't really good at doing the exercises anyway. So long story short, I'm in London. I'm drinking this water, and then I just realized, wait, I'm not even felt the pain. That it's almost like my friend on Monday was saying about his mum. She didn't even bring up the pain. He had to bring it up, and I realized, hey, that pain wasn't there anymore. And the only thing I've been doing is obviously drinking the water. So I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. It's a game changer. And so that minerals, whatever the combination of the two, I'm drinking more, I'm getting mineralized. It's like, wow, game changer, absolute game changer. Struggling for years, and now I get seriously relief. It was worth the trip. I would have paid just for that alone. I would have flown to UK if they told me I can only get relief by flying to the UK. It was worth it, my friends. But yeah, so that was me, and it was a game changer. I want to play. I'm going to play something, but I do want to share back the PowerPoint. Again, if there's anybody, feel free to jump on while I'm going through this, because I'm going to show you I think the scope blew me away. First of all, when I heard about this, I thought, wow, is this for real? I'm seeing things that I've never seen in any other endeavor. I've been around health products, wellness products for years, right? Unfortunately, when my cousin passed away from cancer in the 90s, I didn't really know much about cancer. And then I learned about what was going on after the fact, about tumors and things of that nature. So I didn't really understand health. I just getting on with my life. And that was kind of the first time I had to stop and think about, wow, my health, or my, my longevity, what am I putting into my body? And so when I see this, guys, this is what things that blows me away. I'm going to share with this, share the PowerPoint back again. And I saw when I saw this, that what made me really think and say, man, this is unbelievable. Where we go, screen number 2. All right, so I saw this, and again, this is in Portuguese, this testimonial, so I can't play the video and do it justice. But again, this gentleman, you can see here, vitiligo, and again, I was just amazed how his skin started to form, you know, these patches all over. And I don't know the time frames or anything else, but again, just amazing to see that. And again, we had a situation here with this person here with diabetes. Again, you know, all of these things I'm telling you guys, you know, it strikes really close to home, because I lost my first of all, my auntie lost her foot because she's diabetic, stepped on something, and unfortunately they had to amputate. So, you know, those things, when I see this, and again, we don't know. I can't say this would have been the difference of her not having to have that treatment done, but I've seen some really bad videos showing how they've not had to go through the treatment of getting themselves, you know, their leg amputated and things of that nature. As we know, it's a serious thing if you do have an injury, and so I am actually in the process. I started trying it last night to convert some of these videos that will play in English, because it needs to be these messages need to be heard. Again, this major skin condition, that's the before, that's the after. Just amazing, guys, what I'm seeing here. So, you know, I took a few different snapshots of here. You've seen that slide before. In the animals, again, you know, animals drink water, right? So give the animals what they need. I don't even know what the initial condition of this dog was, but you can see it looks way more healthier. The eyes looks way more healthier from before. They talk about in the plants, you know, in the crops, 40% more production, 40% more in production. Unbelievable. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, there's no the minerals have been depleted from the soil. Everything's changed. And so to have that as a farmer, my God, there's a lot of farmland around me. I need to start speaking to some of these people around me. This is huge, absolutely huge, guys. So we all have somebody or somebody, whether it's a business, whether it's a person, whether it's somebody who's got their animals, whatever, right? Who's got somebody that can benefit from this in one shape or another. So, guys, my time is up. If there's any questions, please put it in the chat. But I don't see anything at the minute. Or raise your hand if you dare so. But yeah, we will call it a wrap there. My phone is blowing up for some reason. But thanks very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Please get back in touch with whoever's invited you on to tonight's call. I'm telling you, we can do, I think one time we're just going to do a session of back-to-back testimonials, man, because it's crazy. And once I get all these videos together, I'm just going to let it run and let it play for a good 20 minutes, man, because it's just mind-blowing. With that said, my friends, I'll take care. See you guys at the top and hope to catch you on the next webinar. Same channel, same time, 8 p.m. Make it a great one. God bless you.